In the quiet town of Savannah, a renowned actress, Elizabeth Barry, arrived. Her purpose was to study the life of Gracie Atherton for a role that she was playing in an upcoming movie. It was about an incident that happened in the late 90s. A woman called Gracie, in her 30s, was caught having an affair with a 13-year-old boy named Joe. She insisted that she loved the boy romantically and was willing to go against the law for him. She was also sentenced to jail for a lot of years. When released, they got married to each other. This case had sent shockwaves throughout the legal and social system back then. Today, Elizabeth was here to observe how their lives had unfolded. The actress craved inspiration, an understanding of who Gracie truly was, and above all, insights into the relationship she shared with Joe. She was an experienced actor who knew a lot about how people behave. She understood that people often hide their true selves behind a mask of performance. Excited to learn more about Gracie, she started exploring the viewpoints of those who had been close to her. In May, Elizabeth got more involved in Gracie's life in Savannah. She talked to Tom Atherton, Gracie's ex-husband, and Colin Henderson, who co-owned Telfair Pets, where Gracie used to work. This was also where she had met Joe back then. This event had serious consequences, causing turmoil in lives and affecting Gracie's family. Georgie, Gracie's son, also shared his confused viewpoint with Elizabeth. Gracie had behaved in ways that went against morals and ethics, causing a lasting effect. Despite the disapproval from society, she had casually accepted her relationship with Joe, even when faced with disturbing actions like receiving feces as gifts. In the middle of this chaotic exploration, tensions escalated as Gracie openly conveyed her unease with Elizabeth. Her interest in Joe was apparent. There was an unexpected turn when Joe and Elizabeth found themselves alone and they spent the night. However, both had different motivations. He sought a sincere connection, while she was driven by in search of inspiration for her acting role. Feeling betrayed, Joe confronted Gracie about how society viewed their relationship. Gracie's reaction was intense, showing her skill in manipulating Joe and shaping the story. Joe, subdued and afraid of Gracie's response, kept his feelings to himself, choosing silence. Elizabeth's arrival upset Gracie's usual dynamics, bringing out her insecurities. Her seemingly confident facade fell apart. Despite this, Gracie held on to her delusions, insisting on the narrative that painted her as the victim. One night at dinner, Joe tried talking to Gracie about their relationship, but she got angry and acted strangely. Gracie knew she could control Joe because he was quiet and easily influenced. Joe was afraid of how Gracie would react, so he avoided discussing past decisions and kept his feelings to himself. Gracie took advantage of Joe's hesitations and kept control by manipulating the situation. Joe felt conflicted but stayed silent to avoid a fight. She used his fears to her advantage and shaped the story to suit her. As time went on, she showed signs of extreme emotional instability when, in late May, she cried heavily as customers left without taking the cake she had baked for them. Elizabeth learned that she kept busy by baking regularly. This was to avoid troubling thoughts. With her arrival, Gracie felt her sense of control disrupted and became insecure about the interference into her life. Despite projecting confidence, Gracie struggled with insecurities. Still, she refused to let go of her delusions and insisted that she was the victim in everything. In the end, Elizabeth finished preparing for her role. She mastered the character, realizing that with each take, she was approaching the perfect shot where fiction and reality merged together.